Imagine waking up one morning and finding out your town now belongs to another country. Not because of war, but because the river next to your house moved. Sounds impossible? It's not. Rivers are alive, they meander. They cut, they silt, they jump channels. Over decades, a sleepy bend can become a raging new route. And borders drawn on maps often follow those river channels. That's where things get messy. There are two legal forces at work. Accretion, slow, gradual land gain by natural deposit, and avulsion, a sudden shift of the river. In many places, accretion changes the map little by little and the border follows. But when a river suddenly tears a new path, the law gets complicated. Suddenly people, properties, entire literal strips can end up on the other side. This is not theory. Look at the centuries of border disputes driven by moving water. The Chamizal conflict between El Paso and Ciudad Juarez dragged on for decades until the two governments finally agreed to redraw the line, a treaty-level fix to a river's meander. And then there's the odd legal curiosity that is Pheasant Island, a tiny strip in the Bidasoa River where Spain and France literally swap sovereignty every 6 months. An island that's jointly owned and alternates which nation it belongs to. How absurd is that? But other cases are more disruptive. In delta regions, the Brahmaputra, the Mekong, Amazon, new sandbars form, islands appear, vanish, and sometimes local communities find themselves suddenly outside a country's administrative reach. The people don't move, the river does. Schools, clinics, and land titles are suddenly misaligned with law and governance. So what happens on the ground? Administrative chaos, voting rolls, customs and taxes. In the worst cases, local livelihoods are hollowed out overnight. Fishermen find their quotas change because the jurisdiction changed. Land that supported a family for generations now belongs to a different legal system. Courts get clogged, diplomats get involved. For some, citizenship becomes a technicality disputed by maps and the mood of an ever-wandering stream. And here's the final kicker. Our tidy political lines, those neat borders on a classroom map, imply permanence. But rivers whisper a different truth. Borders can be fragile. A thin vein of water can redraw nations. If a river can reassign identity and rights on a whim of erosion and flood, maybe we've been misunderstanding what lines on maps actually mean. So next time you look at a border on a map, remember, some of those lines are less permanent than your morning coffee. The water keeps moving. The world keeps slipping sideways. Borders on land can shift with water, and our digital borders can snap in silence under the sea. Here's how the world's wiring is just as fragile. Repairing these cables isn't quick. Specialized cable ships must be dispatched. Crews locate the break with precision equipment, haul the pipe-thin fiber up from the seabed, cut away damaged sections, splice in kilometers of replacement cable, test the link, and lower it back down. Depending on weather and depth, that can take days, sometimes weeks. The impact is real. When a main cable serving a region goes down, streaming drops, business VPNs stutter, and some smaller ISPs get routed through awkward long detours, driving up costs and cutting capacity. For companies running time-sensitive applications or stock markets depending on tiny timing differences, that lag is not hypothetical, it's costly. So what's the safeguard? Redundancy, multiple routes, alternate cables, even satellite fallback. But redundancy costs money, and not every island or country can afford it. Geopolitics plays a role too. Some routes intentionally avoid certain waters, others concentrate along narrow choke points, and a targeted incident in the wrong spot can cascade. Imagine a future scenario. A major trunk cut near a choke point and a storm delays repair crews. For days, online banking slows, e-commerce plates grind, traffic reroutes, and people begin to feel it. Not as a mere streaming freeze, but as a real economic ripple. The internet may feel infinite, but its arteries run across a finite seabed. So next time your Zoom freezes or your payment lags, remember, across the bottom of the ocean, a single broken cable can turn the digital world into a waiting room.